Hey everybody and welcome back. Unfortunately for me, my mic audio got corrupted for part 27, and even worse, it was covering the end of one of the main quests of the game. This has happened before, and like then, I decided to do a post-commentary for it. Still, sorry for the trouble. Starting off, we head towards the location hinted to us by Morgante's song. In my case, it was a small shrine by Kayla's old cult. Rereading the song, I skip ahead to night and wait for 30 seconds on top of the shrine. After that, a portal opens up, taking us to Knightsbridge Station. We meet up with Magic Crab, who opens up a fast travel point, and explore the area to find a way to open the gates. Starting with the right side, there are several green buttons you need to press to raise some platforms. You can also grab a chest by scaling a moving clock, but okay, well, there's an arm you can probably magnetize yourself to, but I kind of forced my way up, so yeah, just be better. More importantly, there's a required fight against the Fusion King Nix. The only warning I have here is to watch out for last rites. Boosted by Gambit, it nearly knocked out Rambell, and, you know, not a very hard fight, but just be careful. After that, we open the chest that was guarding, and we receive an Azure Keystone. We place in one of the swords in the center of the station, and move on to the left side. The left side is slightly more complicated, requiring us to move an electric box to power some platforms. Oddly enough, we find a large coffin up ahead, only for Morgante to appear and reveal that it's her child Mordred. They then promise Mordred that justice will soon come for the King in Red. Continuing on, we find our required fusion fight against Smogtus. While it's a pretty good matchup, I didn't refill my fusion meter yet. I hit it with a shooting star for AP drain instead of dodge with Decibel, and then I get hit by radiation breath. And then critical mass makes it do it again. Yeah, it didn't ruin the fight, but it did cause it to get hectic for a bit. But I do give props to Decibel. I don't know how, but she lived the whole fight. After a bit of a scramble, Smogtus goes down, and we get the second keystone. We return it to the main room and place in the second sword, and the gates open up. After a quick heal, I get ready to move forward, only to be stopped by Meredith. Falling behind are Eugene, Felix, Beal, and Barkley. With everyone here, we all head inside. We find a portal in the next room and assume it can take us home, but surprise surprise, Alp shows up. Al, being who he is, decides to drop some war for us. The entire rail-less system is an archangel known as the Merline, with New World Island being on its back. Al was trapped here by Morgante in the past, and thanks to us has found a way out. Or rather, he and his friends have a way out, as every archangel we fought before shows up behind him. He then goes on to explain how humans are the source of the archangels, every single one of them created by the thoughts and ideas they came up with. You can imagine what sort of problems that might create. Their plan is to now invade other worlds and act out the various myths and legends that inspired their creation. Here, Al offers up a deal. We all go our separate ways. They won't invade our worlds, and we won't interfere with them. And of course, we all decline the offer, as leaving them be would cause a lot of death and destruction, and, you know, basic morality and all that. Al finally loses his patience and decides to just kill us all and get it over with. So begins our fight against Archangel Aleph, the Red King of Conquest. Surprisingly, he isn't that complicated aside from his gimmick. For his buffs, he likes to set up sharpen and sharp edges, and an occasional neutralize to get rid of debuffs. His main attacks are death by 1,000 cuts at low AP, and death by 10,000 cuts at higher AP. Both are multi-hitting, multi-targeting attacks, with death by 10,000 cuts hitting 3 to 4 times instead of 2. At max AP, he'll use Deus Excalibur, a high-power multi-targeting attack. While none of the moves are too problematic on their own, the real problem comes from his gimmick. Every turn, Alp uses Prismatic, randomly turning into a different type. All his attacks as well as sharp edges will match the type he turns into. As far as I can tell, there isn't really a pattern, so yeah, RNG might be a problem here. In my first attempt, I got pretty unlucky and needed to start my Rambell early on. But on my status moves, a couple unlucky type changes later, I pretty much got done in. Funny enough, RNG works both ways, as attempt number 2 was much more in my favor. The only change I made was swapping out Ramtasm for Pelangolin. It might have been bad luck, but Ramtasm getting disturbed really limited what I could do. Pelangolin, on the other hand, has a build meant to counter melee, setting up a free dodge with Custom Starter, and countering missed attacks with Jagged Edge. It starts off well as I fuse and set up a Sharpen, and even dodge the first 1,000 cuts. I do get unlucky next turn when Al changes to an Ice type, and lowers my accuracy. But that becomes irrelevant because he changes to a Glass type next. I set up a dodge, avoid 10,000 cuts, and Jagged Edge countering caused the Shattered effect. On turn 4, I decide to spend all my AP to do Tornado Spikes, dealing over 300 damage, and giving myself healing steam. For some reason, I don't get it either. Al then misses his attack, and takes 170 damage from both Shatter and Jagged Edge. My luck does come to an end though, as I miss my next attack, and a combination of shattered, contact damage, and a crit Deus Ex Caliber knockout Blambo. It isn't good, but all the damage over the last few turns really added up. A couple attacks from Ramtasm, Smogmagog, and Cauldron finally take out Al. Being defeated, Al decides to give up. Who am I kidding? He immediately tries to escape into a portal using the train. I managed to hop on, and Kaylee missed. I don't know if there was, I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but yeah, she missed the train, but, still shows up next scene. Okay, well, facing off with Al on the train, he tells us we're not the only ones to confuse. Combining with every Archangel, he becomes Al Null, and makes it clear once he's done with us, our worlds will be next. With what I can only assume to be the most desperate sprint of our lives, all our friends catch up with a moving train to join the battle. Now, I would go into more detail about this fight, but it's mostly scripted. There was a pretty funny moment where everyone got poisoned, but no one has health bars, so it doesn't really matter. After getting through half their health, Alp has enough and breaks my cassette. I fall into despair, only for Morgante to intervene. Sharing a common goal, she informs me the potential to alter reality in ourselves is inherent to mankind. Which is just fancy talk for saying we don't need the cassettes to transform. Getting up one more time, my character begins a fusion with everyone joining in. Together we form Morgante Gestalt, and begin the true final fight with Al. While the fight is still mostly scripted, I do like how each move and passive is named after each of the characters. Now, apparently my conviction isn't good enough for 0 AP, but, I digress. I'll put on screen what each of the moves and passives do, but all you need here is Coda Morgana. A 10 AP glass-type range attack that has a power of 9,999,999. Dealing over 8 million damage to Al, we finally deal with him once and for all. Kind of. After the fight, Miss Amber shows up to help us work the portal. She then drops a bomb that Al isn't gone for good. Archangels are created from human ideas, and unless he completely eliminates that idea, they'll come back eventually. At the very least, he should stay gone for a while. With all that done, we finally found a way back to our world. I'm not quite done with the game yet though, so I decide to head back to Harbor Town. I go to talk to Ian, who's talking to Gladiola, but after that we tell her the good news. The Rangers have already made plans regarding the sort of situation. Most new arrivals will be directed home immediately. However, there's many people who have already settled down and started families here. With these people choosing to live here, Ian and the captains have committed to staying on New World. She ends the conversation by letting me know she'll support whatever choice I make, whether I stay as a ranger or resign and head home. Okay, I think that covers pretty much everything that happened this part. There were a few things I skipped, but they felt a bit too out of place for the main goal here. It would have been kind of jarring to cut to them, so yeah. But anyways, that's it. I'm done. I'm sorry for how long it took, but it was kind of a mixture of a lot of things actually. Writing the script, me being busy, and also it just being too hot to record. Yeah, it wasn't great, but you know what? I'm done. It should be a lot easier now. Never forget the mic check again. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you for the next video.